The question didn't come with hesitation. It arrived with a quiet confidence, as though she had been rehearsing it for weeks. "Daniel," my wife Claire said, setting her wine glass gently on the table, "I want to spend a night with another man." Her words shattered the soft rhythm of our Friday dinner. The steak on my fork froze halfway to my mouth. For a second, I thought I'd misheard her, that maybe the clinking of cutlery or the faint background music had warped her voice. But when I lifted my eyes, hers were steady, unwavering, fixed on me as though waiting for my response. And I gave her none. On the inside, it felt as if my chest had been split wide open. On the outside, I remained still, carved in stone. The silence between us carried more weight than anything I could have said. Claire and I had been married for 9 years. We weren't perfect, but we had built a life together. Our small home, our little routines, the laughter that used to come so easily. But lately I had noticed the gap widening. Nights out with the girls, that stretched past midnight. Her phone always flipped face down. Hugs that once felt desperate and clinging now carried the cold politeness of a handshake. I had brushed the warning signs aside, telling myself marriage had its seasons and we would find our way back. But in that single sentence, she confirmed what my gut had been screaming for months. There was already someone else. This wasn't about fantasy or curiosity. It was about him. I set the fork down slowly. "You want a night with another man?" I repeated, every word tasting like ashes. She nodded, twisting the stem of her glass between her fingers. I need to explore this part of myself, Daniel. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It's just that I'm not enough." I finished for her, my voice quiet but cutting. She winced but didn't deny it. In that moment I had choices: yell, plead, demand, break. But I didn't. Maybe it was shock. Maybe it was the years of swallowing doubts and keeping peace. Instead, something cold, sharp, and deliberate rose inside me. Leaning back in my chair, I said evenly, "You have 2 options, Claire." Her eyes widened, as if she hadn't expected anything beyond silence or pain from me. "First option," I continued steadily, "you let this go. Him, this idea, all of it. You come clean completely and we try to rebuild. It won't be easy, but if you're willing, maybe we can find our way back." "And the second," she whispered. I didn't look away. "The second is that you go through with this. But if you do, don't come back. If you walk out to another man, the door will be locked when you return, and you won't be my wife anymore." Her lips parted, her breath unsteady. She had asked for permission to betray me, but I gave her a mirror instead, forcing her to confront the price. The rest of dinner passed in silence. My fork scraped against porcelain. Her glass emptied and refilled more than once. I didn't push her. I wanted her to sit with the weight of her own words. That night, we lay in bed on opposite sides. Her breathing was uneven. Mine was hollow. I stared at the ceiling, wondering if she was already picturing his hands instead of mine. "At 2 a.m., she whispered. "You're so calm. I thought you'd scream." I turned toward her shadowed face. "Screaming won't change the truth. You've already been slipping away." I just didn't want to admit it. Her silence was answer enough. 2 days passed. She was quiet, distracted. I noticed her thumb hovering over her phone when she thought I wasn't watching. On the 3rd night, she finally confessed. "His name is Ryan," she said softly. "He's from work." I only nodded, though the confirmation cut far deeper than suspicion ever had. "He makes me feel alive again," she whispered. "Like I'm wanted. Desired. I don't want to hurt you, Daniel, but I can't ignore this." Her words stung worse than any blow. Alive. Desired. As if I hadn't spent years pouring love into her, supporting her, giving her stability. As if loyalty had turned invisible. I kept my voice calm. "So, you've made your choice." "No," she said quickly, shaking her head. "I don't know yet. I'm confused." "No," I corrected quietly. "You're not confused. You just don't want to face the consequences of what you already want." That Friday, she came home late. A different perfume lingered on her skin. She avoided my eyes. My stomach twisted. After dinner, she finally spoke. "Daniel, I need that night, just once, to be sure of what I feel." I stared at her, my heart fracturing. "And if you realize you wanted more?" She looked away, giving no answer. That silence was louder than a scream. I stood, walked to our bedroom, and pulled a small suitcase from the closet. Placing it on the bed, I began folding her clothes. "Daniel, what are you doing?" she asked, panic rising. "You've made your choice," I said flatly. "You can have your night, but you won't return here afterward. If you're willing to gamble with us, then our marriage is already gone." Her hands trembled as she grabbed the suitcase. "You can't just—" "I can." I cut her off, my tone sharp. Because I refuse to be an option. I refuse to share my wife. She didn't leave that night. Instead, she cried, begged, insisted it was only curiosity, that she still loved me. But love doesn't ask for permission to betray. By morning, I told her I'd already contacted a lawyer. Papers would be drawn within the week. She stared at me like I was a stranger. "You'd throw away 9 years just like that?" I laughed bitterly. "No, Claire. You threw them away the moment you asked me to bless your betrayal." Weeks later, through mutual friends, I heard Ryan hadn't stayed. After all she risked, after all her pleading, he had walked away once things became complicated. He didn't want a woman with baggage and divorce papers chasing her. One night, Claire called. Her voice was broken. "Daniel, I made a mistake. Please, can we talk?" I closed my eyes, gripping the phone until my knuckles turned white. A part of me, the part that remembered her laughter, her warmth, wanted to say yes. But deeper down, the wound she left whispered the truth. "Some things can't be undone," I said quietly. "I gave you 2 choices, Claire, and you made yours." Her sobs filled the line before I hung up. It's been a year since then. The divorce is final. I live alone in the house that once rang with laughter. Some nights the silence feels suffocating. Some mornings I still roll over expecting her face before the memory stabs me awake. But I don't regret my choice. Because in the end, I wasn't the one who destroyed our marriage. She was chasing a hunger she thought would make her feel more alive. What I regret is this, that I gave my heart to a woman who could look into her husband's eyes and ask permission to betray him. And when I gave her 2 choices, she chose the one that ended everything.